There's no doubt that men have a hard time understanding women. There are many books, articles, and websites about this particular topic. What about Sigma males, though? They look like they have it all together. Sigma males are the guys who don't do what's expected of them. They are eccentric, smart, and mysterious, and they always know what to say to make a woman blush. These guys are always different, and you can never tell what they'll do next. They are the kind of men who know who they are and what they want from life. They don't follow trends or give in to peer pressure. Instead, they act and make decisions based on their own principles and values. In other words, it's hard to get a Sigma male to do something he doesn't want to. Women are naturally drawn to this type of man because they are rare, different, challenging, and always seem to be in charge. What are they hiding? 1. They never chase women. Any man will tell you that the hunt is an important part of the game. Women want to be chased after, and men want to feel like they've won the prize. But what if you don't want to play anymore? Sigma men know that chasing after women is a waste of time. The woman should come to them, not the other way around. This doesn't mean they're shy or not interested. They just know the games women play and don't want to join in. Women are used to being pursued, but the Sigma man's behavior turns their expectations on their heads. At this point, a lot of women start to like the Sigma male. Even though it seems like he doesn't care, he just doesn't play games. They know more about how women think than anyone else and use this to their advantage. It's a waste of time and energy for a Sigma to chase after women. Men who are low on the totem pole and want to prove something to themselves or others often use this strategy. Sigma men don't have to chase women to feel better about themselves. They don't chase after women. Instead, they focus on their own goals and dreams. This is something else that a woman might be interested in. This doesn't mean that Sigmas don't date or have girlfriends. They just aren't looking for approval from women. They'd rather be alone than waste their time on things that only young men would enjoy. 2. They never put women on a pedestal. Putting women on a pedestal is one of the worst things men can do, especially if they just met the woman. This is often done to try to impress them or get their attention, but all it does is put you in a position where you have to obey. It looks like you're the one who wants her and is doing everything you can to get her to like you. Many men do this because they think they are being kind or chivalrous. There's nothing wrong with being kind and polite, but don't try too hard to make her happy. Women are hardwired to always try to see what you can do. If you give in, you're hers. A Sigma man doesn't look up to women. He knows that they're both the same and different. He is kind to women, but he doesn't let them run his life. A Sigma is the right amount of both of these things. He's strong enough to stand up to a woman and not let her control him, but he's also kind and polite. This makes Sigma men very hard for any woman to deal with. 3. They never seek women's approval or validation. When a male lion takes over a pride, he doesn't have to keep asking the females in his new group if they like him. He doesn't have to do anything to prove himself. Many people already think of him as the king of the jungle. Even though men aren't lions, we still have a lot of the same basic instincts. Sigma males don't need approval or validation from women to feel like men, unlike alpha and beta males. They are sure of who they are as men and don't care what other women think. Sigmas never let other people tell them what they are worth. They can do everything on their own and feel good about themselves. Women are naturally drawn to men with strong personalities, so this makes them very interesting to them. Seeking approval or validation is just another way of being needy, and women can smell it a mile away. Sigma men don't need anyone else to tell them how important they are. This doesn't mean they're rude or standoffish. It just means they're sure of themselves because they know who they are and what they want. 4. They never use cheesy lines to get a date. Not only are they corny, but they usually don't work anyway. Don't use them unless you're making a movie, or better yet, don't use them at all. Sigmas don't use cheesy pickup lines. Instead, they try to be themselves and make real connections with the women they meet. The best way to get a woman to like you is to be real and honest, not to use a line you read in a book. Women can see right through these lines, and would rather just be honest from the start. This doesn't mean you have to tell her everything about yourself, but you shouldn't say anything that doesn't sound like you. Sigma men let their unique personalities shine through, which makes them more attractive to women than any pickup line could ever be. Cheesy pickup lines are like cheap suits. At first glance, they might make you look good, but when you look closer, you can see that they're just a facade. 5. They never use the victim card. Using the victim card is just a way to get women's attention and sympathy. It's something that beta males do to get ahead in dating, but it doesn't work on Sigma women. When it comes to women, a Sigma is never the one being hurt. No matter what happens to him, he always finds a way to get back on his feet. He is always in charge of his own life, and he is always responsible for what he does. He never puts the blame on other people for his mistakes or failures. This is because if he plays the victim card, women will see him as weak. Instead, he thinks about what he can do to get better and be the best person he can be. This doesn't mean, though, that the Sigma male is perfect, but he is always trying to get better, and he knows that the best way to do this is to take charge of his own life. Women are naturally attracted to his strength and confidence, and he never has to play the victim card to get what he wants from them. Sigma males are the real lone wolves because they don't have the pack mentality that most people have. They are strong and independent, and they don't mind going their own way. Sigma men stand out as strong and independent in a world full of beta men who blindly follow the rules and play the victim card. 6. When they have a problem, they never use violence to solve it. When it comes to women, violence is never the answer. All Sigma men are aware of and follow this rule. They are the kind of strong, quiet men who use their brains instead of their muscles to solve problems. Other men might try to impress women with their strength, but Sigma men use their intelligence and wit to win them over. They are very good at using words to convince and sway people. They know how to get what they want without using violence. They are very good communicators because they can read people and understand what drives them. One of the many things women like about Sigma men is that they are like this. They can get what they want without using physical force. Sigmas know how to push all the right buttons to get what they want without ever having to use violence. The key is to never lose control. No matter what's going on, you should always keep your cool. This is the secret weapon of the Sigma male. It may seem easy, but it's actually very hard to do. Most men let their emotions get the best of them, which is when things start to get out of hand. 7. They don't say yes to everything. If you always say yes to women, you'll end up in the friend zone. Women don't want a guy who always agrees with them. It's like trying to talk to a wall. They want a man who is strong enough to stand up for himself and say what he thinks. A Sigma man knows how to do this without being rude or pushy about it. He knows when to stand up for himself and when to give up. Just because you say no, it doesn't mean you're disagreeable or hard to get along with. Even though it's important to be flexible, you should also know when to stand your ground. A Sigma man is not a mindless follower, but a strong, independent thinker. He can think for himself and make decisions on his own. This is another thing that women really like about men. Saying yes to everything not only makes you boring and uninteresting, but it also makes you look weak and unable to make a decision. Yes, there will be times when you'll have to do what she wants, but a Sigma knows when to fight and when to back down. He knows how to be both flexible and strong at the same time. This is a very attractive trait in a man, and women are naturally drawn to it. 8. They don't try too hard. One of the least attractive things a man can do is try too hard. It makes him seem needy and desperate, which are two things that make any woman want to run away from him. Sigma males always play it cool. They never make too much of an effort or try too hard. They are happy to take it easy and not rush. This doesn't mean they don't want to commit. They just know there's no need to hurry. People don't like it when you try too hard, so just chill out and take it easy. If she likes you, she will be sure to tell you. Nothing needs to be forced. Just let things go their own way and see what happens. Think about what's going on and act when the time is right. Sigma men are quiet watchers who listen to everything and think about what to do next. They love to play the long game, whether it's in business or with a woman. Because they are so thoughtful, they can see things that other people miss. This will give you a huge edge no matter what. 9. They don't try to fix them. If you try to fix a woman, she will see you as controlling and manipulative. No one wants a partner who tells them what to do and how to live their life all the time. Women can solve their own problems just as well as any other person. They can do it without a man's help. In fact, they often see it as a way to keep them in line. Being there for a woman is the best way to help her. Sigma males offer support and understanding without trying to take over or control the situation. Women need help and advice, but they also need to be able to do things on their own. Sigmas will never try to fix what's wrong in someone else's life. That's not how they act. They'd rather help people figure out their own answers. This is why people look up to them so much. 10. They don't text her nonstop. Even though it's important to keep in touch, texting her all the time will kill the attraction. Women like men who have their own lives and are busy. They don't want a man who is always available at the touch of a button. They want a man who is in demand. People always want what they can't have. When it comes to women, this is especially true. If you're always there for her, she'll start to take you for granted and get bored with you. You might think that Sigma males are being difficult, but they just know how valuable their time is. Of course, this doesn't mean that they don't want to talk to anyone at all. They just don't feel like texting or calling at all hours of the day. Even though they sometimes seem unapproachable, it's just because they're very independent and their actions always speak louder than their words. This is often what makes women want them so much. Sigma men don't use their phones as a crutch, they use them as a tool. They can text and call when it's important, but they also know when to put the phone away.